forecasts. So now the crisis that's coming is going to be much, much worse than the one we had 10 years ago. And sure, I've been warning about it for many, many years, and it hasn't happened yet, just like I warned about the housing bubble for many, many years before it popped. And because I am warning about a problem in advance doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Right.
It just means that the consequences of the mistakes that we've been making haven't manifest themselves yet fully. They have manifest themselves in a lot more subtle ways that people don't seem to recognize, right? Like Donald Trump is president. Why is that? It's because the economy is actually much weaker than the experts were telling us. I mean, that was why Trump was able to tap in to that discontent among the electorate, because the electorate was living in the real world, not the fantasy world of government statistics. And Donald Trump, connected with people by leveling with them that they were getting lied to by the media, by government, by Wall Street. The stock market was a bubble. The economic statistics were phony. The economy stinks. And I'm the one to fix it. And the problem is now that he's president, of course, he's telling the same lies that he criticized everybody else with, only bigger. I mean, Donald Trump is a bigger liar about the economy than was Obama. I mean, he comes out and says this is the greatest economy in the history of the country. We have the booming economy. He says we've had an unprecedented economic turnaround. I mean, lie after lie about the U.S. economy. And for now, the people seem to be, eating it up because people want to be optimistic. They want to think the president is right. But unfortunately, as this economy moves into recession before the 2020 election, all of those voters are going to abandon Trump. They're going to be very disappointed that he not only didn't make America great again, but America will be in worse condition than when he was elected. To the market, they inflated two bubbles. They inflated the stock market bubble and the housing bubble. It's just that the stock market bubble popped first. The housing bubble kept growing. But yes, we have two bubbles. And he was like, "You're crazy. It's impossible." Well, I'm saying the same stuff now. We now have a third bubble. This is the biggest bubble yet. But the Federal Reserve has been supplying the air. It's the same failed, reckless monetary policy. And if you think about the damage that Greenspan did to the economy, the malinvestment that he created by lowering interest rates to 1%, leaving them there for about 18 months or so, and then gradually normalizing them back up above 5%. If you think about how that almost brought the world to the brink of ruin, and now you think about what's been done under Bernanke, Yellen, and Powell, interest rates going to zero for 8 years, 3 rounds of quantitative easing.
Right.
Despite, 5 or 6 rate hikes, we've only got rates up to 2%. 2%. 10 years after the crisis, we're only at 2%. Can you imagine the economic damage that has been done, the malinvestments, the misallocations of resources? And if we thought 2008 was bad, because that was the hangover from Greenspan stimulus, can you imagine the hangover from this stimulus? That's why we're going to overdose. We're going to die. The economy is going to literally die because we're going to destroy our currency. The dollar is going to just collapse. The bond market, we're going to have a sovereign debt crisis. It's not just going to be a subprime mortgage crisis. The crisis is going to be in the U.S. Treasury market. And, of course, there's no way to bail us out from that.
Right.
Who's going to bail out the U.S. Treasury? I mean, there's nobody big enough.